Hey, what up guys? It's been a long time since I made my last Deep Tech Adventures video, and I know that a lot of you have been waiting for more, so today I want to focus a little bit on the Talons and their Flying Swallow. I think everybody knows that the Flying Swallow in Humanoids or Ninja launches them high up in the air and you can drop them. But I want to focus specifically on the Flying Swallow on Fiends today, because I think it's a very underutilized move. Because probably most people think it's useless, but I think there is a lot of deep tech that only a handful of people know. And I think I even found out some stuff that nobody knows. At least I have never seen anybody use this before in this capacity. So without any further delay, let's get into it. So first I want to take a look at two very specific moves that the Talons have, which are Wings of the Vermilion Bird and the Wall Cling Y attack. I think most people know that both of those moves have on-landing properties and can go into UT or really any on-landing that you want. But what many people do not know is that the Flying Swallow of the Talons has the same properties, and every follow-up that I show today can also be done after those two moves. So let's take a look at the Flying Swallow into on-landing UT. It has to connect to the enemy though, otherwise you cannot do it. So if this happens, then you're kind of screwed. But as you can see, when you connect and you land quickly, you can do it. You would input this like you would input any on-landing UT, but since the frames that you have are so few after the FS because it's such a fast move, you have to input it really fast, so it's basically a double tap Y. Lycans love to dodge the FS, but you can still pull it off, and I think it's much more useful for enemies like Gaja, for example. Those enemies never dodge your FS, and you can pretty much get it every time on them, unless you catch them in the air when they want to tail whip you, because then you do this, well, high launching FS. But if they're on the ground, you can pretty much get it every time. This is pretty badass. The next one I want to look at is Flying Swallow into on-landing running YYY. As you can see here, if it delimps, it goes straight into insta-OT. Just like a normal running YYY would. But you can also use it on delimped enemies, which is always a guaranteed OT. You know those pesky Vangelfs that like to dodge backwards after you forward Y them and delimb them? Well, fear no more, because this is how you do it. Like, stop running after them trying to get the OT. Just FS into running YYY. The input for this is just like you would do any on-landing running, so when you FS, you keep holding forward, and the moment you land, you press YYY. The next follow-up I want to look at is Cry of the Phoenix, which is normally just the follow-up to Thunderous Earth, so just forward YY. But it can also be input as an after-landing move from the Flying Swallow. So you Flying Swallow a Fiend, and then you wait till the frame that you land, so you don't do an on-landing. You leave the stick neutral, and just press Y again after landing. Of course, you could also go straight into forward YY on landing, but it's kind of useless. As you can see here, maybe if the enemies line up. Of course, you can also just go into on landing 360Y. And also stuff like on landing forward X. If you play this game for long enough, then you might think right now, wait a second, aren't there on-landing projectile UTs as well? Well, yes there are, and you can do them. Oh! Oh, that was pretty cool. Get out of here. Damn. Ryu aimed correctly for once. Oh! This is just too good, man. Alright, so this is it, guys. It's all I have for today. I hope that everybody enjoyed and maybe learned something new. And I'll see you on the next one. Like and subscribe.